Hi, all the signs of the zodiac. I'm Pam, the Lucky Mermaid, psychic, seer, and modern mystic, bringing you psychic predictions and messages from my spirit guides for this mid-month psychic tarot update for June 2025. Please be sure to watch your sun sign, your rising sign, and your moon sign to get a more clear and complete picture of what's to come for you in this mid-month of June and perhaps beyond, because timing will be different for all of you in these general readings. Remember, sometimes your rising sign and your moon sign will resonate more for you than your sun sign. And if you're born on the cusp of your sign, some months your psychic predictions and messages are coming to you from there, so you might want to check that out. Before I go on, I just want to let you know, if you want to get any of the special video series that I record for my Vimeo on-demand Vimeo videos, those links are posted down below in the description box in the Show More section, and they're also on my website at the luckymermaid.com videos page. I do have two big video series you may be interested in right now that are the most recently recorded series. Is my Love and Romance Mid-Year 2025 Psychic Tarot and Oracle card update for each sign of the zodiac, both for singles and couples. So the singles and couples are in that entire reading, so you may want to check that out. And also my Mid-Year Psychic Tarot update for the year of 2025, because we're at the midpoint of the year. So if you want to get updates on your life and also on your love life, I recommend you check those video series out. And you may want to get your sun sign and your rising sign, or maybe your moon sign or cusp sign. That's completely up to you. Whatever resonates with you usually on my YouTube readings will probably be what resonates with you on my Vimeo videos. So you may want to check those out. And don't forget, my psychic crystal readings for June 2025 are also available, which are an expansion and a continuation of the psychic tarot readings that I do for the month. And so if you didn't get them yet, you may want to check them out. So all that being said, now onto your mid-month psychic tarot update, and I'm starting with the sign of Aries. Aries, the first card you got is the Star, so you're starting off with a good card here. This is spiritual blessings. It could be an answered wish or an answered prayer. I feel like you're going through emotions, and to me it sounds like almost like a change, an evolution of emotions. And I feel you have to counteract and counterbalance that with doing some things that make you feel grounded and solid. So if you feel like you're going through a range of emotions in the mid-month of June, that may make you feel like maybe more spiritual things or just feeling more emotional in some ways, you may want to ground yourself by walking, swimming, exercise of any kind, eating foods that are grounding. You can search that on the internet and see what things come up that could help you get some balance. You could receive some kind of notification that you're winning some kind of contest, award, some kind of personal recognition. You could be winning money. It could just be winning some kind of like personal acknowledgement of some sort. It could be something at work. Maybe there was a contest, or it could have been anywhere. So winning in some way, getting some kind of notification that you've won, could be something you entered online. You may have the desire to take a class over again, but when you do, or if you do, it's going to be structured differently. So it's not going to be exactly the same as you took it the first time around. Now, some of you may have to take a class over again. If you were in some kind of training program and you didn't pass, or maybe you just feel like, I know when I took psychic development classes many years ago, I would take the same one over and over again because I took several, but there was one I took repeatedly because the instructor did it differently every time. So it could be a scenario like that for you. I feel like you're capitalizing somehow on some kind of monetary gain. I feel like it's coming to you through work or work projects, something. It could be if you own your own business, or if you did some kind of creative project that you can monetize yourself, it could be coming that way, or it's coming, I feel, through work. So the card you have with it is the Three of Pentacles, and this is expanding your craft, expanding your skills, expanding your knowledge, expanding your work. It could be business expansion. You could be getting promotion. You could be expanding some kind of work or business that you're doing. It can also indicate focusing on craftsmanship and attention to detail. You're really seizing the day with something you're working on. It could be at work, at a job where you work, or at a business you own, or some kind of project you want to work on and give to somebody or sell. And it's like you're going to start to get the hang of it. You're going to get your groove on. It's going to be something that you're like, maybe you found it daunting or challenging in some way at the beginning, but once you got the hang of it, you're on some kind of roll here. You may be testing some things out to see what people think of it. It could be like you put something out there and do people like it or people don't like it, or what's the feedback? It could be a trial run for something. I do feel like the guides are saying you're gaining some kind of financial gain again, but it's also like financial credit. I feel like you're going to make some more money on something, some endeavor you're involved in. It could be some kind of new work or work expansion or business expansion that you need to get the hang of. You need to get into the flow of it. You need to get a routine down or a schedule or both connected to it. And whatever you're doing is ultimately going to fortify your finances, boost your bank account. You may have to spend money to make money. That's the old adage, right? That they say you got to spend money to make money. So some of you may have had to buy tools, ingredients, implements, technology, something that you may have had to purchase, but then you're going to utilize it in what you're doing and creating, and then you end up making money off of it, so it works out for you. In some way, if there's competitors, you could get a big jump on the competition, maybe from previous knowledge and experience, or I don't know the reason why, it's a general reading, right? So I don't know exactly why you get this jump on the competition, but somehow you do. So I hope those messages were of help to you, and I hope they made sense. Now on to the sign of Taurus. Hi, Taurus. So the first card you have for this mid-month update for June 2025, you have the Ten of Rods. And this is a card that symbolizes moving on to new and better horizons with 10 rods of burden on your shoulder. And even though you have these burdens or these rods, they're actually knowledge and experience you've gained that are going to help you as you move on to the new and better horizons. You're getting things situated, something organized, and it could have to do with a move. If it's not your place of work, it could be at your place of work, or it could be in your home. You may really feel like you're trying to heal from all this kind of crap that went on. There's something that went on that you feel like, I'm trying to heal from all that. There's some situation that played out in your life. It could have been at work. It could have been in your family life. It could have been socially. I don't know where it happened, but it's like there was stuff that went on where there was arguing, people not getting along, some kind of disputes or disagreements. Could have even had people acting mean or irrational, and you've had it with it and you want to move away from it. You want to move on. Some of you are getting your ducks in a row because you're getting ready to put some kind of project or plan or idea in motion. You may even be trying to start a business, or if you already have a business, you may be promoting it. You could also be moving on from a love relationship that now you want to get out there and see like what else is available to you, to date. You may feel like you want to get yourself in a better position of power and out of controversy. So the controversy could have circled around you. It could have circled around your department where you work in a company that you work for. It could have circled around the industry that you're in. Maybe you want to get out of a career and you're like, too much controversy in this career. I want to get out of it. So there's some kind of controversy that you want to get out of. You may consider getting some kind of therapy. It could be like seeing a therapist, but I feel it's more like physical therapy or Reiki, some kind of healing modality. I feel the therapy is more connected to energetic healing or physical healing more than it is psychological healing. So for some of you, it could be with a therapist, but so the card you have with it, Taurus, is the Seven of Cups. This is scattered energy, scattered thinking, scattered emotions. Choose wisely from the illusions around you. Having to make a decision or a choice about something. You could have a lot on your plate. This could also indicate a dream come true, possibly. I feel like you're fixing a lot of things that were broken. Now, that could have been in your home, your roof, your windows, your hot water heater, your dishwasher, oven, whatever, washer, dryer. But it could be fixing things, taking care of and fixing a lot of things that were broken relationship-wise. I hear the collective consciousness of Taurus saying, if I hear this one more time, I am going to flip out. And I feel for some of you, it's about somebody like saying something to you that is been repeated to you. It could be like somebody complaining to you at work, or a boss saying it. It could be your spouse saying it to you, your significant other. Could be your kids saying it to you. But I get like, if I hear this one more time, I'm going to go nuts. I'm going to flip out. Like, so I feel like something keeps being repeated to you over and over again, and I feel like you're really quite fed up and tired of hearing it. There could be a change in direction of how you make your money, or like it could be your career, it could be your job. You could be thinking of wanting to start a business on the side and you're trying to find your niche, like, or a particular thing or area that you're like, I know about this, I'm good at doing it, I could make a business out of it, I'm going to start doing it on the side, or just bold outright doing it. I mean, I see some of you doing that. You could have somebody that is intentionally, for some of you, intentionally trying to scatter your energy, trying to mess you up, trying to distract you, trying to throw you off your game. You got to think about who's doing that. That could be a coworker. It could be a family member, a friend. I don't know. But you've got somebody purposely trying to say and do things to scatter your energy. Now, would they admit that's what they're doing? Probably not. So I hope those messages were of help to you, and I hope they made sense. Now on to the sign of Gemini. Hi, Gemini. So the first card you have for this mid-month update for June is the Six of Cups. And I'm sorry, I'm reading it in the wrong order. Eight of Swords is your first card. So Eight of Swords is a card that means trapped and bound to, like you're trapped in some way. It can be trapped in an emotional prison, trapped in a situation you can't see how to get out of. You may be able to get out of it easily, but you may think you can't. And there could be unknown factors or unknown forces or secrets or just unknown things about this. I hear Geminis, you're going around and around in circles in some way. You may feel like, I can't keep doing this. I'm tired of doing this. I don't want to do this anymore. That could be work. That could be something within your family situation. It could also be a job you have that you're like, I'm tired of this. Maybe you want to retire. Maybe you're sick of working. Maybe it's just like you're tired of the career or job you're in and you're like, I don't want to do this anymore. This card came up also for Leos. Leos got this too. You may be kind of fixated on bringing something to a conclusion, but you may not be able to figure out how to go about doing it, or you may not feel like you can, or you may not feel like the timing is right yet. So I go back to what I said at the beginning. There's something you're tired of doing and you feel like a hamster running around in a wheel and you don't want to do it anymore. But maybe you financially can't quit, or maybe you need to line something up to go to before you leave or quit or stop what you're doing now. That can also be a love relationship. You may feel like, I'm tired of having the same old arguments. I'm tired of going over the same old ground with my partner. I'm tired of it. And you may feel like, well, I really want to get off this merry-go-round, but maybe financially you feel like you can't make it on your own. Maybe you don't feel timing is right. Maybe your partner is having some kind of crisis or problem that you feel like, well, this wouldn't be the right time to leave or break up. So I feel it's either job related, career related, and work related, or love or romance related. I feel like there's things that you are definitely not telling anybody, you're keeping it to yourself. And it could be about what I just said, that you're tired of being on this, merry-go-round, hamster wheel. You want to stop something. You don't want to continue on with it. But you may not be letting that cat out of that bag right now. I don't feel like you are. Eventually you will, probably. So the card you have with it is the Six of Cups. That's the card that came out second. I like to read them in the order that they fall out of when I'm shuffling. And the Six of Cups is a past life reincarnation relationship you have with someone. You've reincarnated together to solve karma. This can also be fond childhood memories or representing children. If you're in a relationship, there are definitely things you like about your partner and definitely things you don't, which may sound like, duh. Well, everybody could say that. Well, okay, but that's what my guides just said to me. So it must be cropping up for some of you right now that is preying on your mind. You could also feel like you want to understand your partner better. You may feel like your partner is really confusing you. If it is not your love partner, it could be a family member or a friend. You may feel like my guides are saying you jingle jangle each other's nerves. There could be hypersensitivity going on here. Either you're being hypersensitive, they're being hypersensitive, or the both of you are. I do feel like you're having a real sense of pride in your work or your relationships. Like I hear pride in your accomplishments and your attention to detail. That could be it. You could have that in any area. So you have to ask yourself, why is this coming up in this reading? You could be concerned over somebody in your family or your love partner could be doing it. They may be using some kind of drugs. They could be doing, it could be prescription medication that they got addicted to and now they're hiding it, or something else that they're doing that could be addictive. If it's not drugs, it could be something else. So that could be jangling your nerves. It could be confusing you or your partner or family member, whoever it is. So you had a bunch of things that came up here. So you have to remember with these general readings, you need to take what makes sense to you and resonates with you and leave the rest. And also watch your sun sign, rising sign, and moon sign, because sometimes people say, hey, my rising sign was dead on for me this month, but not my sun sign. So make sure you're watching if you know your sun sign and rising sign especially. And if you're female, I would watch your moon sign also. So I hope those messages were of help to you. Now on to the sign of Cancer. Hi, Cancer. So the first card you have is, let me see if I'm reading it right, Eight of Pentacles. So the Eight of Pentacles is a card that symbolizes the card of the apprentice, learning a new craft, learning a new skill, starting a new job, starting a new business, gaining financial gain and rewards from that new start. It could also be focusing on craftsmanship and attention to detail. It can also be like concentrating on your finances and investments in some way. Some of you are getting ready to start something new involving your work. It could be, you could be getting promoted. You could be starting like a new position at a place where you already work, or it could be a new job. Some of you may figure out how to make money from taking something old and making it new again. This could even be a website. Could have been a website or a business or something you tried to start and it didn't go anywhere, and you could be like, you know what, I'm going in, I'm tweaking the website, and I'm going to, you know, try it again, or add new products or services or whatever to it. So you could be refurbishing and upgrading a website, a web business, an online business. This could also be stuff like if you know how to refinish furniture, rebuild computers and technology, if you know how to repair, you know, machinery, equipment, anything like that, you may be refurbishing things and then turning around and utilizing them or selling them. I feel like you're going to catch on to something really quickly to do with your finances or the financial markets. If you're somebody that follows stock, trades, cryptocurrency, property investments, like I feel like you're going to be like on top of it, up on it, especially up on any trends that are happening in those areas. If you have a business already, you're going to start charging people more money for your products and services. You may do something where you learn how to do something new that's like a spin-off of something you've already done. So if you have a YouTube channel, you could start a new one that's a spin-off. or if you have your own business and it's been working well, but there could be some new aspect to this business, you could do a spin-off, and that would work well. So for the second card in your reading, you got the Ten of Pentacles. And the Ten of Pentacles is a card that symbolizes financial abundance coming to you. It could be an inheritance. It could be a gift of cash coming through family channels. It could be you winning money. It could be you and your partner making more money and increasing the financial stability and abundance of your family. I hear the words break the bank. Something good financially comes through for you. This takes time for some reason for you to sort out, but I do feel like it's like once you sort out the details, you're like, wow, okay, this is good. This money is coming to me. Now, some of you may be an executor of a will, or you could be somebody that's inheriting from a will. Well, that takes time to sort out. Sometimes that's fast, sometimes it's slow. So it all depends on who's handling everything, and lawyers and people involved. So it could be sorting through that kind of thing. I do feel like an inheritance. It keeps coming to me like that. So some of you could be inheriting money or land or stocks. If there was any court cases, legal cases pending, I feel it goes in your favor and money could come to you. This could be child support. It could be a divorce settlement, alimony, or some other type of court case where it finally gets addressed and settled, and finally money comes your way. This could cause some kind of stress or strain for other family members. They may be jealous, or they may not be happy with that this is going on. So I don't know. I mean, it's a general reading, so it's hard for me to pick up why these other family members, or maybe even other people around you, would be vexed by it. Jealous, vexed, unhappy, disrupted by it. If you get some money, my guides are, sometimes I have some funny guides. Sometimes the ones that show up, they say, Cancers are going to Cancers that this applies to are going to party like it's 1999, if you're old enough to remember that. And you may go on some kind of trips or travel when you get this money. Could be in the offing. So I hope these messages were of help to you, and I hope they made sense. Now on to the sign of Leo. Hi, Leo. First card you have is Nine of Rods, and this is being prepared and ready for battle, getting your ducks in a row, getting organized. This can also indicate being suspicious of someone or something. I feel like you're doing everything you can help to help, and it may be to build something. You may be building a structure, a literal structure. You may be building furniture, putting together furniture. You may be trying to build a business, a company, but I get like putting your efforts and energy and organizing skills into building something. But you may have some kind of like trepidation or confusion, because I hear the collective consciousness of Leos going, where do I begin? And you're going to be like very precise, dotting all your I's, crossing all your T's. You may have to hold yourself back from ripping into somebody that caused you some kind of grief or gave you flack. So you may be like mad at someone, but you're, for some reason, I get holding yourself back. or trying to. You could feel gutted, like somebody had no business getting into your business or saying or doing something in your direction, that you feel like that was uncalled for, unqualified, and that they had no right or business to do it. So you feel like somebody's infringed on you in some way and you're mad about it. You may not go off on them, but you may interrogate them or give them a litany of questioning, which is kind of like an interrogation. But for some reason, you get stopped or blocked where you can't fully do what you want to do here with whoever this is that you're mad at. You may feel like there's people challenging your expertise, your knowledge, or your authority. You could feel like that. And that could be people you know personally, but it could also be coming from people you don't know, or businesses, companies, or corporations. Doesn't necessarily have to be a one-on-one thing. This could be a business, company, or corporation you feel is like questioning your authority or imposing things on you. So the card you have with it, the other sign that got this is Gemini, Eight of Swords. So Eight of Swords is a card that means trapped in an emotional prison, trapped in a situation you're not sure how to get out of it, but you may be able to get out of it easily. You just don't see that. This could also indicate you being like a situation where you don't know all the facts, you don't know all the information, so you could feel like in the dark, so to speak. You may really be getting yourself all riled up for nothing. And you're going to have to use your own intuition to guide you to get out of everything I just said in the Nine of Rods card. I feel like this happens to you a lot, Leo, I do, where you're going to have to help yourself because nobody's going to come and help you out of it. And I feel like this happens a lot where you're like, well, I got to fix this or solve this myself or get myself out of this situation I don't like on my own. I definitely pick up tension between you and other people. It could be one person, but I feel for some of you, Leos, it's a couple of people, maybe three people. You may feel kind of like you're trapped in a prison where you feel misunderstood a lot. That things you say or do get misinterpreted by others and twisted by others. Other people could twist what you're saying, twist your words, or twist it around what you're saying or doing. You may have to heal from an old injury. It could be back or knee injury this month could be cropping up for you. And if it is, I feel like it's an old injury where, you know, it could have happened like more than 5 years ago. It could crop up again in the middle of June or at some point in June or July. And but you may have to take some steps to try to heal it. Whatever the problem is, you may be looking into healing it. You could also have some issues with headaches this month as well. So you could have some physical things crop up, but I really feel like it's symptoms and being aggravated from all the stuff that came up in the Nine of Rods card. So I hope these messages were of help to you and I hope they made sense. Now on to the sign of Virgo. Hi Virgo. So the first card you have is the Six of Rods, and this is victory after a battle. You're being victorious here in some way. You've got some things that start to work out for you now, that really start to fall into place. And anything where there's been like victim shaming or blaming things that were happening in your life, like that's going to be over now. If anybody was accusatory to you or blaming you for things, this could be clients and customers, it could be your love partner, it could be family members or friends. I don't know who's doing it, but I feel like any victim shaming or blaming or any games that were going on, like, you know, psychological, emotional game playing that was going on, I feel like that's over at some point in June. Some of you could have a new romance that could pop up and develop for you very quickly. You could also be getting yourself linked up with, if it's not a new love partner, you could be getting yourself linked up with a new partner in business, like something to do with work or business. You're going to be very strategic. You're going to have a handle on it and be very strategic in June and moving forward. Your communications are going to be elevated and up. You're going to be having a lot of important conversations, communications, and they're going to be going well. These are not communications that are going to be problematic for you. It's like you're building up your reputation, you're building up your authority. You could get some kind of opportunity to work with something you've never been able to do before. This could come through clients, customers, if you own your own business. It could come through employers if you work for another business or company. So you could like get involved in some kind of new medium of work or a new type of area that you never were involved in before could come up for you. So the card you have with it, Virgo, is the Six of Swords, which is moving. It can be moving from troubled shores to better shores. It can mean long distance travel, a new commute for work, moving from troubled shores to better shores, troubled times to better times. Something about this sort of like catches you off guard. You may be thinking about moving and leaving. I hear dusting yourself off and heading out. You could be doing it like, if you want to move, you could be house hunting, apartment hunting. If you want to move to a completely different area, you could be driving there to like scope it out. Like, what do I think of this? Like, I lived in this town, but I might move to that town over there. I'm going to go over there or to another country or to another state or province, and you may be like doing a little reconnaissance mission to go check it out to see, do I like this place? Do I want to find a home there? You could be camping, canoeing, camping. I hear stargazing. Some of you could be doing that. So you could be, you know, like going out into nature, you know, like I said, camping or something that would involve you being able to stargaze. If you had any kind of hearing loss, I feel like it improves, or you get some kind of treatment for it. If somebody dies, they get resuscitated. So you may have a friend or a relative or a pet where you think that's that, they're gone, but whoop, they get resuscitated. That also comes up here. You've got to be careful of your skin. You could have a violent outbreak of hives, acne, rashes, anything to do with like eczema or psoriasis. It could be poison ivy. Like you could have some kind of skin condition, rashes of anything I just mentioned could pop up for you. If you have any discussions or arguments with anyone, or big conversations, I feel like either the person you're talking to is going to have a lot of valid points on their end of it, or it's you that have a lot of valid points. So, but I do feel communications are up for you and that things are going to go in your favor based on these communications. And those communications were mentioned in your Six of Rods card, but I'm getting it again through your Six of Swords card. So 2 sixes here. And this is June, the 6th month. So I hope this reading was of help to you, and I hope it made sense. Now on to the sign of Libra. Hi, Libra. So the first card you have is the Knight of Pentacles, and this is an earth sign person, Taurus, Capricorn, or Virgo, sun sign, rising sign, or moon sign. This could be you if you have a sun, moon, or rising sign that is an earth sign. You could be going around and around in circles with this earth sign person. You may not be, like, you could be having arguments with them or not seeing eye to eye with them. They could be somebody in your life that is like kind of trying to cause trouble. They may feel like things you say and do really bother them. They may be, or they could be skeptical about you. You could look at them like they may be vindictive, spiteful, a bully. You may look at them like that. If this is somebody that's come into your life that could be a romantic partner or a friend or someone you have to deal with at a club, group, or organization, they may come from a vastly different background than yours. And this could be a contributing factor to the tension. Now, for others of you, this could be somebody that wants to party with you, go out, get together, spend time with you. So you got a big dichotomy here on who this Knight of Pentacles is for you. They may look at you like like you're a trip. That's the words my guides use. Like you're a trip. Like you may do things that are offbeat, off color, drastically different, a little more on the unusual, but not in a negative way. They may look at you like that. So you got to ask yourself, because it's a general reading, some of you are having problems with this person and they're annoying you and they're annoyed by you. But for others of you, this is somebody that wants to hang out with you, party with you, get together with you. Could be romantically, but it could be just like they want to hang out with you and have fun because they think that you're quirky, unique, a unique individual, fun. So you got drastic differences here. So be sure to watch your rising sign and your moon sign and your sun sign, if you know all three, to get a more clear picture here. So the card you have with it is the Empress. This is a maternal figure that's crossed over to the other side, watching you, guiding you, protecting you. It could also be a maternal figure in the living, mother, grandmother, great-grandmother, someone like a mother figure to you. The Empress can also indicate the birth of a business, project, plan, or an idea. You could be the Empress yourself. The Empress here could be the Knight of Pentacles, an earth sign person. So this could be your mother could be an earth sign or a mother figure to you. This, I feel like somebody's clearing the way to make things happen for you. So this could be somebody, you could have like a a mentor recommending you for a job, or you are trying to get hired and a friend or somebody says, the person is like, well, we don't really have a position, but this Empress or Knight of Pentacles person, if they're the same person, could be going in and saying, just give them a chance or find a way. So clearing the path for you in some way could be coming up here. Something you do could get highlighted in a magazine or you know, a web article, a web magazine, a paper magazine. It could be on a video. It could be on, you know, YouTube or Rumble or somewhere. So something you do, you know, your work, your knowledge, your expertise, or something you do could be highlighted in some way. You could also be featured at, like, if you're involved in doing any webinars, seminars, trade shows, anything like that, you may be highlighted, your work, your knowledge, your expertise, especially if you give any speeches of any kind or presentations. You could harmonize with people really well, not to be contradictory. If you have a brother or a male figure in your life, they could come back into your life. Maybe they were living overseas or living in a different area, or you lost touch with them. They could come back in your life in some form or another, and you harmonize well with them. So I got to say, out of all the signs I've read, yours is the most conflicting all over the place. So sorry, Libra, you're going to have to sort that out, because sometimes it seems like the messages go in one direction, or maybe a little bit in more than one, but yours, it was definitely a back and forth. So you got to take what resonates with you and leave the rest. And remember to watch your rising sign, sun sign, and moon sign, if you know all three, or just watch your rising sign and your sun sign. So I hope those messages were of help to you and that you can sort them out. And I hope they made sense. So now on to the sign of Scorpio. Hi, Scorpio. First card you have, bam, you got the Tower. What's up with you, Scorpio? This card can mean the end of a friendship, the end of a relationship, a fight, an argument, the end of an old paradigm, so a new paradigm can begin, an old rulership, so a new rulership can begin. It could also indicate a natural disaster, a flood, a fire, an earthquake, a hurricane. It could also mean like there's some enlightenment, you're getting enlightened and aware of something in this mid-month of June and maybe beyond. Something you wanted to do finally happens. Some of you, if you published something or worked on something, or you get accepted. If you tried to get into a training program, if you tried to get into a club, group, or organization, if you submitted something for publication, or you wanted to have an agent for acting, writing, music, whatever, you could be talking to an agent and they accept you as a client. Like I get, like getting accepted comes in here. If you had any habits, I don't care what they were, that you are tired and you've had it with them, you're going to be done with them. Like any addictions, any habits. It could even be a diet. Maybe you're on a diet. Maybe you tried a particular diet and you're like, I'm done with that diet. I'm not doing it anymore. Or you were doing certain kind of exercise or routines. I'm done with those exercises. I'm done with those routines. I'm not doing that anymore. I feel is par for the course for some of you. It could be a relationship breakup. It could be that too. Some of you could be casting out old ideas and old ideologies. You could be done with those. Maybe you had certain religious or political beliefs and you're like, bam, I'm done with that now. I don't buy into that anymore. I've completely changed my mind. Some of you, it could be that. If you had any kind of medications you were taking, or treatments you were getting, or therapies you were getting, you may be like, I am done with that. I'm not doing that anymore. Because I really get the energy of Scorpio going, bam, I'm not doing it anymore. So you have to figure out what is that for you. But look what you have with it. You have the Ace of Rods. And the other sign that got Ace of Rods is Aquarius. So Ace of Rods is new beginnings of any kind, receiving an inheritance. It could be a new love relationship. It could be a new job, a new home, a new lease on life, a whole new you could be happening here. Some of you are going to, I hear again, finally get accepted. And I hear the words train. So you could get accepted into some kind of special program. You could be accepted into like starting a new job, working at a new company or business. But then like there's training. There's going to be like new beginnings and training come up with it. I feel for Scorpios, there's something that you always wanted to do, or something you wanted to have happen or do for quite a while. I feel like it happens for you now. That, want or desire, bam, it's going to happen for you. You could get a promotion, because I get some of you, or a new job, because I get some of you, I hear the word starting a new position. So it could be in a job where you already work. You could get a new position, like a promotion, or just a new position. Maybe it's not really a promotion. It could be a lateral move, but it could still be a new position. Or you get a new position at a new job for some of you. If you had any kind of serious illness or debilitating sicknesses, illness, disease, whatever, I feel like you beat it. You get, like, if you had cancer, you're in remission. Or if you had certain medical conditions going on, you've conquered them. And that's why you get, like, that may be why it came up, like, I'm done with this, I'm not doing it anymore. That could be medication, treatment, anything. And then you have this new beginning, like you're healed, you got past it. So I feel for some of you, it's involving health and wellness. Some of you could get a jump start to your career, and you may get some kind of acknowledgement. And but I feel if you do, it could involve you having to travel or go somewhere, like go on a trip, and then you're at a seminar, or go on a business trip and have an important meeting. You could get some kind of important acknowledgement or recognition to do with that, like your work, your talents, your skills, your work, your career. Could get some big acknowledgement, or be acknowledged favorably, which leads you to a new beginning. So I hope those messages were of help to you, and I hope they made sense. Now on to the sign of Sagittarius. Hi, Sagittarius. The first card you have is the Death card, which is transformation. Something ending so something new can begin. I feel like something you used to do is really getting blown out of the water. It's changing drastically. You may have to get new accounts, new clients. It could be for starting a new business. It could be for a company or business you work for. Could be requiring that you get, new accounts, new clients, new customers. So it could be if you own your own business, could be if you work for another business or company that now that's going to be necessary. Some of you could see things changing rapidly for some of you, in a family situation, where a lot of things are starting to move and shift and change, and, within your family. Like, you're going to see a lot of changes going on after a long time of things like of the status quo remaining consistent. You could start to see a lot of transformation in your family with family members now. Some of you are graduating something, you're leaving something behind. It could be school, it could be a training program, it could be spiritually. There could be some spiritual graduation here for you, or graduating in some other form. You could have some kind of sense of cleaning house, a reverberation running through you and in the environment where you live, where you may be like, I've got to clean this place out. I got to get rid of stuff. I don't want these things anymore. It could be also cleaning house of toxic people. It could be personally, like yourself, like food you eat or things you do that could be toxic, like alcohol, smoking, drugs. Could be like cleaning house of yourself, could be cleaning house of your environment. It could be both. It could also be clearing people out that you are not going to associate or deal with anymore. It could be family shifting and changing, and dynamics and family circumstances changing. So you have to sort through this, Sagittarius. Where is this happening? Is it happening in multiple places? So the next card you have, which came up with it, is the Seven of Rods. And this is a card that is keeping negative energy from coming at you, holding back negative communication or energy, keeping it at bay or blocking it. It could also indicate you taking the moral high ground in some kind of situation. If I didn't listen to my guides, this could be news of somebody dying, news coming to you about a death. But I always listen to my guides because the cards are too one-dimensional. You may feel like you have to stop somebody or people from badgering you and hounding you. This could be your kids, this could be your spouse, this could be bosses or, clients or customers. Like, you may feel like, oh my gosh, they are hounding me. They need to stop. You could have people pestering you or bugging you or getting on you about doing certain things. I hear, you got to quit it. You're giving me agita. So you may feel like you may have to tell these people, whoa, back off, stop. You're making my stomach all churny and upset. You're wreaking havoc on my system. Like, stop. And you could have people that are like, I need you to do this. I want you to help me do that. I need help with this. You got to help me do that. So you could have people, either your kids, your significant other. It could be happening at work. It could even be in a club, group, or organization that you are part of or belong to, where they're asking you like, oh, can you help me with this? Oh, by the way, I also need you to do that. And this one wants you to do this. And that one wants you to do that. You could have people like really asking a lot of you to spread yourself thin, to divide your time and your energy up a bit with all these different things. And so if you have family that you're close to, this could be like family members, like, oh, can you take care of this for me? Oh, well, this is happening over here. We need you to come to this event. And we need you to take care of that over here. And this one wants you to do this over there. Like, It could be happening at work. It could be in your family. I just feel like you're going to have people that are asking you to do a lot of things, asking a lot of you. And it could be like my guide said, giving you agita, giving you upset stomach, or, stressing you out. So I hope these messages were of help to you, and I hope they made sense. Now on to the sign of Capricorn. Hi, Capricorn. First card you have is the Devil. This is being trapped and bound to an unhealthy relationship. It could be trapped and bound to an unhealthy situation. It could be an addiction you may have of any kind to another person or to anything you could be addicted to. This could be somebody in your life that you're connected to could have an addiction. There could be something negative with some kind of communication that goes down that's negative, and you don't want to hear from them or deal with them anymore. You may be feeling fed up, like you're on some kind of, my guides are calling it a fire lane, which is a weird phrase, where you feel like your energy is being usurped, taken advantage of, stretched. I do feel that some of you either have some habits or addictions that have become a problem for you, maybe financially, or your partner. If you're married or seriously coupled with somebody, it could be your partner doing it. Some of you may get addicted to something that it pretends, or I don't know, maybe it's portend, not pretend. I don't know if that's the right word, to be the fountain of youth. But all it is really like you get addicted to it. It could be that drug that begins with O that people did for weight loss. It could be talking about getting addicted to cosmetic surgery. That happens a lot. It's like once people start getting the cosmetic surgery, they get addicted to it, and then they keep doing it and doing it. So it could be something that would make you feel youthful, look youthful. So it could be even like skincare products, cosmetic surgery. It could be some kind of drug. And it's like the devil. You're addicted to it. And you need to and it could be draining your finances. It could be causing other problems for you. You could have somebody that's pirating your material. So somebody could be stealing your intellectual property. You could be dealing with a hacker hacking into your bank account or your emails or something. So you have to be careful about that. The card you have that came up with it, Capricorn, is the Five of Pentacles, which is financial bankruptcy, emotionally bankrupt. You could be depressed. You and your partner could be depressed. There could be money available to you, but you may not be noticing it or, paying attention to it or recognizing it. I hear some of you Capricorns saying, I can't keep up this pace anymore. And I feel like it has to do with the things I already said in the Devil card. And I hear choosing wisely. Like, I feel like this is about choices and decisions you made that at the time you felt like you were choosing wisely, but they have turned out to be not wise choices. And now you're kind of suffering the consequences or outcomes of them, which I feel is addictions, or it could be financially, or it could be financially a problem for you. And remember, I said, I I don't know that this is just like regular drugs and alcohol abuse that people do. I feel it could be things connected to do with youthfulness, trying to make yourself look young or thin or whatever. You could also feel like your energy is really going down the drain. You could have something going on with you that is, what is that called? Epstein-Barr syndrome, or mono, or some type of autoimmune disease, or Lyme disease. I feel like you have something going on that's really draining your energy. Now, for some of you, it could just be the planets affecting you that way. For some of you, it could be this, like if you're taking anything, like I already talked about, that maybe that does it. I don't know, because I've never taken that. I'd be too afraid from what I've heard about it. But I don't know, but I get you being like really drained, your energy sapped, you feeling really tired. You may feel like there's certain things going on in your life, could be things I talked about already in the Devil card, that you don't really know, you're like at a loss of how to do it. Like, how do I change from that to something else? How do I get past it? And if you're a Capricorn sun, and this doesn't make any sense to you at all, then your messages are coming to you from either your rising sign or your moon sign. So that's why I say you really should check them out. When I do private readings for people, I'm really surprised at how many people I read that say they only watch their sun sign. Because so many people write me and say, my rising sign makes sense to me, or this month my rising sign made sense, or this month my moon sign made sense, not my sun sign at all. So if you're Capricorn sun sign and none of this makes sense to you, I may be talking more to Capricorn rising or moon sign for all I know. So you have to watch the other signs to see what speaks to you. So I hope these messages were of help to you, and I hope they made sense. Now on to the sign of Aquarius. Hi, Aquarius. First card you have is Temperance, which is having patience, or it can be alchemy with God working through you in what you're doing, thinking, creating, and saying. So you could be creating something here. This can also be patience. I feel like your ability to change is quite dramatic, and you could be working on or building on something that actually leads you on a new path and takes you on a different direction. I feel it's important for you to be very calculated and like organized, calculated, plan things out. It may take a while for you to reap the benefits of this new path or change, but it will come. It's just going to take a little while. You have to forge ahead with your ideas, because that's what's going to like lay out new foundations for your future and also bring you some kind of fulfillment and happiness. You could be having some bout of questioning of any kind of authority or dictatorship at this time. And you could be writing things down, and you could be putting a lot of thought and energy into what you are writing down. Now, this could be something like a map, a plan of something you're going to execute, something you're going to do, something you're going to get going. So I feel you're writing something down. Writing things down is important now in June and moving forward. And I get like there's a possibility of potential that right now are in the shadows that you can't fully see that will rise up out of the shadows later on. You could have some family member or members that are making you question yourself and your thoughts or your ideas or plans or whatever. But I don't really feel that you're going to let that interfere with you or stop you. Even if you have family members that are kind of like, why are you doing that? Or questioning what you're doing. I don't feel like it's going to make you change your mind. You'll have to be patient with them and have patience with yourself. So the card you have that came up with it, Scorpio also got this card, is Ace of Rods. An Ace of Rods is a new beginning. It could be a new house, a new job, birth of a child, receiving an inheritance. It could be a new beginning to your life in some way, which was sort of already indicated with the Temperance card. Something you're trying to do, you get it, you catch on, it works out for you. And it's going to be inspiring to you because you help out humanity in some way or helpful to other people. And that is going to be inspiring to you and spur you on. So feeling like you're making a difference, feeling like you're appreciated, feeling like, you know, you're making a difference, you're appreciated, you're being helpful, is going to be inspiring to you. You're going to cast aside any old fears or old doubts. It's like you get a new beginning from that. I feel like your reputation is going to rise. It's going to increase. People are going to be maybe paying attention to you more, noticing what you're doing or saying more, getting more appreciated for your talents, your skills, your knowledge, your ethics. If there was a job that you were hoping to get, I feel some of you Aquarians will get that job. Some of you, there's a prediction that you've already received will come true in June. Now, whether you got that prediction from me, in a private reading, in a general reading, or from someone else, it doesn't have to be from me, but you got the prediction, it will come true for you in June. Some of you are developing and doing something new that's going to be like inspirational to you. I don't know what other word to use than inspirational, motivational, inspirational to you. So I hope those messages were of help to you, and I hope they made sense. Now on to the sign of Pisces. Hi, Pisces. So the first card you got is the Star. Somebody else got the Star. Aries. Aries and Pisces got the Star this mid-month update. So this is spiritual blessings, an answered wish or an answered prayer, or some type of spiritual blessings coming to you in this mid-month of June or maybe even beyond. Some closed door opens for you. Something that was closed in the past or unavailable becomes available. This could be a job, a new job, a position that you wanted at a job you already have, or it could be a new love relationship or a club, group, or organization you wanted to join that they didn't accept any new members or whatever. Now it becomes open to you. This could even be getting into some kind of program of some sort. because I also hear that you hear back from something you were waiting on. And my guides say there's a new vibration out in the cosmos. So something has shifted and changed for Pisces that is sending out these reverberating energies that are going to make some things start to go your way and open doors. Now, it could be because Saturn was in Pisces and now it's in Aries. Maybe that's the reason. I don't know. Or is it because Neptune was in Pisces and now it's in Aries? Is that the reason? Because those two came out of your sign? I don't know. But my guides are saying something has changed and shifted and is reverberating out into the cosmos that is affecting Pisces people that are going to have things that were once unavailable or shut down. Could be opportunities of any kind now become available and open to you. You could also get some kind of recognition. Like you could be getting a raise, a promotion. This could also be some other kind of acknowledgement where people are like, you know, talking about you like, hey, good work, Pisces. Look at what you did. Congratulations. You're the best. Like, you know, it could be people just giving you high praise even. You may find that you work with different mediums. I don't mean psychic mediums. I mean mediums. Like, you know, maybe you were working with the medium of communications and now you're going to work in a medium where you're baking bread and making pastries and cakes. I'm just using that as an example. Like, you're going to work with some other kind of medium for some of you. So the card you have with it is the Chariot, which can mean success, but it can also mean having to choose between two different paths. It could indicate change. It can mean long distance travel. But like I said, for some of you, it could mean success. I hear this is where you take off in a new direction and you're like, eat my dust. And you're going to be blazing forward. This isn't something you're going to be like, ho hum. Nope. You're going to be like, I'm excited. I'm energized. I'm going in this direction. So this seems to be a theme for the signs this month because I'm hearing some of this repeated. So June must be like a chapter turning month for a lot of people. Anything that was like inconclusive before now becomes conclusive and permanent. Where there was speculation and drift or wandering, things now become solid, stable. Even though this is a card of change and moving, I feel like what's coming is what I just said. If you fixate on things too hard, it's going to hang you up and mess you up. So try not to let your mind get into a trap of picking apart everything, analyzing everything, fretting, worrying, because it's just going to mess you up and what you're going to have going on. So try to be relaxed, like my sign here. Relax and go with the flow and be more free flowing, because then you're going to get in your groove and then things will start to sync up and line up for you and you're going to have a lot of momentum moving forward. Don't get into your head about stuff. If you get anything appraised or anything you have of value that's really something substantial, I get like the retail value of certain things you have increase. And that could even be property, like a home. I know that's weird to call it retail value, but I feel like you have some things that are increasing in value. So if you need to sell them, June, July, and August might be the time to sell things that have increased in value for you. You know the old saying, buy low, sell high? That applies to Pisces in June. So I hope that reading was of help to you, and I hope it made sense. As always, thank you so very much for watching. I do truly appreciate it. And please like, share, and subscribe. And hit that notification bell when you do subscribe. That way you'll get notified when I upload my videos here to YouTube. And as I said earlier, if you want to get any of the special video series I've recorded for Vimeo on-demand videos, you can get the most recently recorded links down below in the description under this video, or you can go to my website at theluckymermaid.com on the videos page, and all the links are there, and you can read the descriptions of everything there. So just to give you a rundown, I did say at the beginning, in case you skipped over it, my two biggest video series that are new right now is my Love and Romance Mid-Year 2025 Psychic Tarot and Oracle Card Update for both singles and couples for each sign of the zodiac. That link is down below, and on my website you are getting both singles and couples in each reading. Also, my mid-year Psychic Tarot update for 2025. We are at the midpoint of this year. If you want to hear what my guides had to say for you for the rest of this year of 2025, you may want to check those videos out. Also, my Saturn in Aries Psychic Tarot readings. Saturn will be in Aries for 2.5 years until April 12th of 2028. So you may want to check how Saturn in Aries will be affecting you. Also, another big video series, Neptune in Aries, Psychic Tarot and Oracle Card readings. That's covering a 14-year time frame. Those readings are basically, they were almost an hour long before they were edited. So go back and watch them. If you get these videos where they're covering long periods of time, don't forget to go back to your Vimeo videos and watch them again and again, because, you know, could help you out through the next 2.5 years and the next 14 years. Also, my past, present, and future Psychic Tarot readings using the Osha Zen Tarot deck are available. My What's Lucky and New for You in 2025 Psychic Tarot and Oracle Card readings are available for each sign of the zodiac. I have 2 eclipse video series linked down below, and they're both tarot, crystal, and oracle card readings. One was for the March 14th full moon lunar eclipse, and the other is for the new moon solar eclipse in Aries readings. So they both are psychic tarot, crystal, and oracle card readings. You're still being affected by those eclipses, so you might want to check them out. Also, my financial psychic tarot readings for 2025. My big love readings for 2025 for singles and couples that I do at the beginning of the year. They're available. And my New Year 2025 10-card Celtic Cross Psychic Tarot readings for each sign of the zodiac. If you didn't watch your New Year's readings yet, you may want to do so, because we still have the second half of this year. Like I said, I already just recorded the mid-year update, but you may want to get the reading for the whole year, and my psychic crystal readings for the new year of 2025 are also available. That's looking at the whole year as well. And don't forget, my psychic crystal readings for the month of June 2025 are also available on Vimeo. All these links, as I said, down below. They're also on my website at theluckymermaid.com videos page. Please be sure to follow me on social media. I do post predictions and messages there when I am able to do so, and I pull tarot cards or oracle cards and write these predictions. They're written out so you can see them, so you may want to follow me on the Lucky Mermaid LLC on Facebook, and Pamela Georgel at The Lucky Mermaid on X, and on Rumble. I put the videos there on Rumble also, and my channel name there is The Lucky Mermaid LLC. I do have a Instagram channel, an Instagram page, but I have not been posting it on there in months because there's too many scammers on there, which I want to remind you, if somebody contacts you and says they're me, unless you're on my wait list or cancellations list, I'm not contacting you for a reading. So you need to report and block these frauds because they're just trying to get money from you or your information. So you have to be careful of that. So I think I've said everything I need to say here. So I hope you have an absolutely fantastic rest of the month of June. All the signs of the zodiac out there. And know that I wish you many blessings and peace.